Science teacher Ryland Grace wakes up on a spaceship light years from home with no recollection of who he is or how he got there. As his memory returns, he begins to uncover his mission: solve the riddle of the mysterious substance causing the sun to die out. He must call on his scientific knowledge and unorthodox ideas to save everything on Earth from extinction. But an unexpected friendship means he may not have to solve it alone. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Project Hail Mary, that stars Ryan Gosling and also is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller and written by Drew Goddard. And this movie, just going off into it, I have to break off for a second. Written is one thing. Writing is really important. Drew Goddard is a guy that, he did The Martian, random movie, doesn't really matter. And then Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who they're responsible for some, random movies that maybe you may not really ever heard of. They're kind of like producing, I guess, this random animated movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or whatever. Random movie. Doesn't really matter. Who knows what Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse is. I heard it's like some of the best of, animation ever and superheroes, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But in terms of directing, what this duo has done has been so, you can say, right? I mean, they did the Lego movie, they did 21 and 22 Jump Street, they did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs as well, so just some of your favorite movies ever they were responsible for. So that's kind of good, I guess. Whatever, who cares, right? And then when you get to cinematography, the cinematographer for this movie is this random guy, Greg Fraser. I don't know. Greg Fraser, I think he was a part of some random sci-fi movies, Dune Part 1 and Part 2, and The Batman and Rogue One. This cinematographer, some might say he's the best of all time, but who's really keeping track here? He's also going to be the DP for the Beatles films, and he also was a part of Lion and The Creator back in 2023. That one movie that had a pretty, $80 million budget shot on a $4,000 camera. This guy, Greg Fraser, kind of random. No one really knows him. He also was in charge of Mary Magdalene back in 2018. Who is this guy? Who cares? Whatever. I'm just going on for no reason. Then this movie is also composed by Daniel Pemberton, who, once again, I have no idea who this composer is. I mean, what has he done in his past? I mean, I don't know. Looking at the list here, he was in charge of the Spider-Man movies, Across and also Into the Spider-Verse, random movies that he was a part of. Who cares, right? It doesn't really matter. But listen, point is, Project Hail Mary, it's a sci-fi movie. It's big, it's wild, it's insane. And going into this movie, was I excited or was I not excited? Yes, I was. I thought this movie was going to be really good. Then the reviews started coming in for it. People were saying it's one of the best pieces of sci-fi ever. So yeah, sure, I'm excited for it. And I saw this movie, at this point, it's been a while ago. I saw this movie the Monday after it came out, which was a very long time ago. At this point, it was the 23rd of March. So it's taken me a little bit of time here, but still, I wanted to talk about this movie. I would never have forgiven myself if I went so long without talking about this film. It's really important. It's very impactful for cinemas and myself, and it's sci-fi, and also really love sci-fi. So I don't want to spend too much of your time here today. I'm going to go through a lot of what makes the film really, really good, and also just how this movie really gave me hope for filmmaking and cinema and the cinematic experience. Because in 2026, this isn't really breaking news, but for the first quarter of the year, it's one of the best first quarters since COVID, or at least it is, I think, the best first quarter of a year since pre-COVID. So this is a hard proof sign that cinema and movie going isn't dead just yet, that we're finally getting back to normal. And this is a generational year. And if it was going to happen in any year for the first quarter of the year to be generational, it had to be 2026. I mean, I've talked about it a lot, just about how this year feels so different. It feels so special having Spielberg, having Nolan, having Denis Villeneuve, and also an Avengers film happening in the same exact year. This year is going to be generational. It's going to be very, very special. And I said it before that Project Hail Mary is kind of like the appetizer to all the insanity we're going to be getting across these next months here for this year. But this movie, it's important, it's special. It just shows me that times are changing, but even though times are changing, we're all still speaking the same foundational language of movies, but new words are being added, new lingo, and the way we speak the language is changing. And this movie, it just is so much innovation. It's so innovative in terms of how it's making the movie that I just love it so much. But just kind of, if you're still lost in terms of what this movie actually is, well, Project Hail Mary is basically about a guy who has to save Earth. That's kind of all you need to know. It's really funny and sad as well. It does know how to balance those emotions so well. Just the seriousness and the funniness is all there. And what would I compare it to? Well, talking about comparisons, it's been said before, and I'll just kind of echo it in here too. This movie, it's being compared to The Martian and Interstellar. Those are two incredible films that I think that any sci-fi film should aspire to be compared to Interstellar and The Martian. That's, I think, very accurate. This movie is very good. It definitely kind of, I wouldn't say steals from those movies and those kind of motives, but it does incorporate those things in here, and I really do appreciate that. The author of the Project Hail Mary book also wrote The Martian, so it's going to definitely feel like The Martian, I think, over anything else. But if you're looking for more of the kind of hope core space odyssey adventure movie on an incredible spectacle IMAX screen, this is where you're going to be wanting to go for it. And I think that this is just truly a good space movie. And, I love Dune, and Dune's awesome. I love Dune, but I wouldn't say Dune is a space movie. It's still great sci-fi, but if you're looking for an Interstellar, or if you're looking for a Martian kind of movie, and you're really yearning for that, this is that kind of movie that you're really going to want to see. But still, going further into why this film works and my pros for the movie, let's start off with Ryan Gosling. Let's just start off with literally me, one of my favorite actors of all time. I know it's very film bro to say that, yes, Ryan Gosling is literally me, but he's also incredible in this movie. And he's really, really good in this film. It's that kind of movie where it's mainly one actor on screen most of the film. And I really do enjoy that. That's, I think, where you get the best out of an actor, is when most of the movie, it's just this one guy that the audience is really fixated on. Think like in The Martian. Matt Damon he's the lead actor, he's the main actor, and there's still some great actors and characters in that movie too, but still, for the most part, if Matt Damon isn't good in The Martian, the movie won't really work that well. And same with Project Hail Mary. If Ryan Gosling isn't good in this movie, that's a big chunk of the film that already just doesn't really work that well. Ryan Gosling, I think, even though the year is very early on and we have a very long way to go, he most likely won't get nominated for an Oscar, but I think that he really does give an Oscar-worthy performance in terms of how, if he's not good, the whole film is bad. That's the kind of performance I'm seeing here from him. I don't think it's his best performance, but I think that still, it's a very effective performance. If he's bad, the whole film does not work. And Ryan Gosling, just outside of this movie, I just really want to kind of glaze him up a little bit here. Pause, whatever. Ryan Gosling, still, he's, I think, one of the best working today. But even outside of working today, I was texting my friend the other day, or yesterday actually. We were talking about Ryan Gosling and this movie and how just, I said it in a text, and he also agreed with me, my friend, that if Ryan Gosling retired today, he would be in the Hall of Fame. Like, there's really nothing really else for him to do at this point in his career. Like, he has built that kind of resume in terms of his skill as well as just the quality of the films, to where if he wanted to retire today, he can, and I wouldn't be upset with him. He would be in the Hall of Fame. And also, I saw on Reddit, the most accurate and best site ever, I saw someone on Reddit say that Ryan Gosling is the next Tom Hanks. And that's not a hot take at all. I'm really not mad at that take at all. It's true. I mean, Ryan Gosling, in terms of, if you want to say with Tom Hanks being consistently good and delivering consistently great performances and having just consistently great movies in almost every single genre, then yes, Ryan Gosling has to be on that level with a Tom Hanks kind of guy. And in addition to anyone and everyone knows and adores Ryan Gosling, he may not have the Oscar, whatever. But still, in terms of, my mom would know Ryan Gosling, and my coworker would know Ryan Gosling, as well as my other film nerds who have no life, just like me. And looking at just alone the past 10 years of Ryan Gosling's career. Looking at 2017, he was Kate in Blade Runner 2049. That was a very important and so incredible performance in Blade Runner. And then also in First Man in 2018, he has that biopic kind of movie. And with Blade Runner, he has that massive sci-fi kind of movie. The Notebook was in 2004, so not 10 years, but still, The Notebook, iconic and classic. Say what you want, it may not be the best, but in terms of it's iconic, it definitely is. La La Land, 2016, where he was incredible in that movie. Barbie in 2023, where he got the Oscar nomination, and he was adored by everyone. Yes. And Project Hail Mary, another just massive, incredible sci-fi movie. He's done it all, from comedy to action with The Gray Man. The Gray Man wasn't that good, but it's a very fun popcorn kind of movie. He has the biopic with First Man. That's an incredible Neil Armstrong biopic. He has the very dramatic romance films with La La Land and The Notebook and Blue Valentine. And the very also just, dramatic and sad films like No Place Beyond the Pines. He has the neo-noir with The Driver. Or Drive, as the driver in Drive, whatever. But the sport movie with Remember the Titans. He's done everything. And Ryan Gosling, he's incredible, he's effective, he's generational, and he's at least top 50 all-time actor already in this point of his career. And moving on from the Ryan Gosling glaze, because I don't want this episode to be too long, this movie, it's simple and effective. I may have said that already, but going to more pros, it's very simple and very effective. It's very approachable for anyone, so I know that with Interstellar, you may think, oh, it's too long and too boring. And with 2001: A Space Odyssey, it's also, too long and boring and way too old for me if you're a casual guy. But with this movie, with Project Hail Mary, I think that it's very approachable for anyone. And it's very sad, but also very serious and funny too. So it doesn't matter if I can show it to my niece and nephew who are younger than me. I can show it to my mom, my uncle, my grandmother, my coworker, or the film nerds like myself who have no life. We're all going to really enjoy it. So I think that's very approachable, which is a really, really good thing. And I feel like it's so hard, and we don't have a lot of them besides the MCU movies that can at times be a little bit too funny, but they haven't been the best as of recently. But with this kind of movie, Project Hail Mary, having really solid themes and having great, phenomenal VFX, really cool and interesting and just creatively unique cinematography from Greg Fraser, great directing, great writing, a movie that can be sad and also funny. It's not like too much sciencey tech jargon. It doesn't matter if you have a master's degree in space science or whatever it is. It doesn't matter if you're a member of the Artemis crew or if you're just a random guy who works at Chick-fil-A. You're going to know this movie and you're really going to enjoy it, and it's going to be very easy to follow along, as well as having a great laugh, but knowing when to get serious and dark. This movie, it's a mesh of everything that works with this genre, and it's done so well. And I mentioned it just now before too, but more pros is just everything. I think that from all cylinders, directing, writing, cinematography, score isn't phenomenal. The acting, the VFX, I think I mentioned too, but I'll mention it again because the VFX are very, very good in this movie. There's a lot of practicality, but seeing a movie that is finished with really solid VFX, cough to Marvel, take notes, please. It's really good on all those cylinders in terms of, I think, every single Oscar nomination, from adapting this book to VFX to the score to everything. It's very solid and it's very, very good. So seeing a movie be able to do all of this well, it's really good. I'm just so happy that this kind of movie exists today, and I really, really enjoyed it. But what about cons? Where did I not really jive with the movie? Well, it's a pro that the movie is very simple and effective, but for me, my kind of con for the movie was that it might be too simple and safe and maybe too predictable at times. Or maybe I'm being a negative Nancy, or maybe it's a very slow drought in films right now for the year, but still, it's kind of a con. I have to rewatch the film, but at times I may have wanted it to do more. I may have wanted more depth and kind of more risks to be taken in the movie, but I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed my time with the film. Ryan Gosling's incredible. The way he does this movie is really good. The way it's lit is incredible. Production design, also really good and fresh and unique. I loved it all. But if I had to give out one con, it would be maybe a little bit too safe and predictable. But I might grow out of that con as enough time passes, but for now, if I had to give one con, maybe too safe and predictable for me, but that might just be me being a negative Nancy who likes too much Scorsese films, but whatever, it is what it is. So, if I had to give this film a score, what would it be? Right now, it's an A. I give it an A, 4.5 out of 5, 9 out of 10. I say you need to go see the movie. If you love films, if you love the cinematic experience, definitely go see it. Now, is it better than Interstellar? No. Let's just get that out the way. Yeah, that's another very, very important message. I don't think this film is better than Interstellar, but is it definitely top 10 sci-fi? Sure. Whatever. If we're talking about Dune and also Star Wars, you can throw in at least one of those films, and Interstellar, The Martian, top 15 or top 10 sci-fi for this century. Sure. I think definitely you can say that and make that argument. I wouldn't be too mad with you. But outside of that, outside of my dumb opinion, let me know, what did you think about this film with Project Hail Mary? Was it good? Was it bad? Did you enjoy Ryan Gosling? Would you have liked more of a different actor in the film instead? Let me know. I know this review is coming out a little bit later than usual, but employment unfortunately called my name, and I've been busy serving the man at corporate, so it is what it is. These next few weeks are going to be insanely stacked for movies and shows. I mean, right now, Invincible has been going on. It's been crazy. Daredevil, I haven't been watching. I'd never seen Daredevil in my life, but still, Daredevil, it's going on as well. The Boys starts this week. I haven't even watched Gen V Season 2. I might be cooked. We're also getting the Michael Jackson biopic this month. We're also going to be getting Devil Wears Prada 2 next month, in a few weeks here. We're also going to be getting Beef Season 2. There's a lot for me to break down and watch that I've been just so stressed recently. But let me know, how do you think of the movie? Or what do you think of the movie? Was it good? Was it bad? Whatever. And also let me know, what is your most anticipated thing in the next few weeks or the year? I don't even know. It's going to be absolutely insane. But still, that is my review for Project Hail Mary. I thought it was a very good movie. I also saw the drama with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. I might review that film later this week if I have time to squeeze in a recording session. But until next time, stay swagged out, stay cool, watch more films every single day. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.